I remembered it this morning. Okay, so yesterday we talked about Abraham, the founder of Judaism. We're going to talk about the next most important religious leader for the Hebrews, a man named Moses. Now, we had talked on the very first day where we introduced Judaism, how with the brief history, Abraham is living in Canaan. His descendants are living in Canaan, but then there's a famine. And the famine is so bad that they wind up going and trying to buy food in Egypt. Well, an Israelite named Joseph was already in Egypt. Long story short, he was sold into slavery by his brothers who were totally jealous of him because he was a little bit cocky. But then he wound up rising up to Grand Vizier. And this Grand Vizier then says, hey, move to Egypt with us. So this guy's 11 brothers and his family move to Egypt. And there, because they were given the land of Goshen, they wound up becoming very powerful, very prosperous. Because when you have lots of food, you have lots of kids, and then lots of kids, and more kids, and more kids, and they're exponentially growing. And the Egyptians feared them and decided to make the Hebrews slaves. Now, so he goes, makes the Hebrews slaves, and for roughly 400 years, the Israelites are in slavery in Egypt until we get to this man, Moses. Now, you read about this 2 days ago, I guess, or yesterday. We talked about it. Moses. All the little boys, when they were babies, were ordered to be killed at one point because the Pharaoh was so worried about how many Hebrews there were that they might, be able to go and overthrow the slaves. And so, as the story goes, he's gone and put into a basket so he's not killed, floated down the Nile River. Princess finds him, raises him as a prince in Egypt. There's actually even a movie called Prince of Egypt. Then, as he grows up, though, he starts seeing the Hebrews mistreated. There's a famous story that when one of the Hebrews is going and being mistreated, he goes and kills the Egyptian mistreating him. He becomes a fugitive. He runs away, but eventually comes back to say, Pharaoh, let my people go. Now, remember, we are using the Torah as our primary source for this. So this is all according to the Torah. This is up between you and your family. If you want to believe in what happens next, it's, I'm not allowed to tell you what I think. But Pharaoh says, no way, I'm not getting rid of my free labor here. And then, as the story goes in the Torah, there are 10 plagues that strike Egypt. You don't have to write down or know what the 10 plagues are. I'm not going to ever test you on that sort of thing. But it ranged from, little things like the Nile turning to blood, flies coming, eating everything, tons and tons of frogs, gnats, which gnats might be one of the most annoying bugs in the universe, and just swarms of them, swarms of locusts. I mean, it was not a fun time for Pharaoh. And each time after one of these plagues, Moses says, hey, Pharaoh, buddy, let my people go. And Pharaoh says, Sometimes he's like, oh, yeah, sure, and then changes his mind last minute. It's really not very nice. And the 10th plague, though, is where it all culminates, the death of the firstborn. And this is actually where we get the whole Passover story. So Passover is a Jewish holiday, and it's to commemorate the Exodus, because during the 10th plague, as the story goes, like I said, any house that did not have the blood of a lamb over the doorpost, the lintel, would have the firstborn, including animals, and killed. And of course, Pharaoh loses his firstborn child, very upset, and says, okay, Hebrews, get out of here. The Hebrews gather up all their stuff. They are on the way. But then, of course, Pharaoh changes his mind again. Oh, man, this guy just can't make up decisions, can he? So he gets his whole army ready, and they start pursuing the Hebrews, and we get this awesome chase sequence where it culminates, like I said, as the story goes, the parting of the Red Sea. Moses leads the Hebrews to the Red Sea. They see the sea right there. They see the Egyptian army coming behind them, and it's kind of like, what do we do? And then because we see this often in the Torah, God saves the day and says, hey, hold your arms out. He holds his arms out with his staff, and the sea parts. The Hebrews get across. Then when Pharaoh and his charioteers are going across, he puts his arms down, it crashes down, and then they drown. Kaput. And this whole event is called the Exodus. Like I said, for Quizy-Poo, Testy-Poo purposes, the Exodus, you just need to know it as the Egyptians leave, not the Egyptians, I apologize, the Hebrews leaving Egypt. So the Exodus, you need to know it is when the Hebrews left Egypt after roughly 400 years of slavery. All right. Here is a very cool artistic rendition of said parting of the Red Sea. And then, here are two hilarious jokes. Okay, there's going to be a lot of F minuses going around because no one seems to get to see Moses. Someone fishing with Moses. Moses is parting the water so that guy can't fish. It's hilarious. I know. My favorite, though, is Moses parts his hair because, he had to, hold his arms out for the Red Sea and then just, whoop-bam. Yeah, a lot of S minuses going around because, come on, you guys know. I saw Kadir laugh, so I'm just going to give everyone's points to Kadir. Congratulations, Kadir. You have like a 2,000% now. Okay, going on with Moses, because Moses does not only one but two big things. So we have leading the Exodus. All right. Now, as the story goes, there's going to be a period where the Hebrews are going to roam the wilderness of Sinai about 40 years. This is recounted in the book of Numbers. I actually just started Numbers today. I read it before, but for this current study. And during this time, they take a pit stop at Mount Sinai, and they are given the 10 Commandments. There's a hilarious movie clip from an old movie, History of the World, where Moses comes down from the mountain with 3 tablets, and he drops one. He's like, I present you the 15. Smash. These 10 commandments. It's hilarious. Maybe I'll remember to show it to you guys in a little bit. Now, these 10 commandments are going to be so important. They are the foundation of the Hebrew laws. All right. So we're going to see in these rules, we have things like don't steal, don't kill, obey your parents. Important, important things. All right. Also has religious aspects. Don't have any other gods besides God. And it even takes to amount how we get tired. Giving the Sabbath, a day of rest. We're not supposed to work. You're supposed to go worship and enjoy God. So, what did Moses do for the Hebrews? Well, we've got 2 big things. He led the Hebrews out of Egypt, and he gave them their laws. These things are going to unite and bring the Hebrews together, all right? So this is very, very key. We need to know that Moses leads the Exodus and gives the 10 Commandments. I guarantee that will be Quizy-Poo territory. So think about that for Friday. Okay? I'm not going to quiz you on what are the whole 10 commandments. You need to know that the idea of them was for them to honor and obey God. But I'm not going to go and have you know specific ones. All right? Here are examples of the 10 commandments. Obviously, these are not the real 10 commandments, because first off, Roman numerals, not yet invented. Secondly, English, not yet invented. Thirdly, having the division of the Bible into chapters and verses, not yet invented. So these are just what they are, but not really what they look like. All right. And now, for fun, here is that hilarious video clip that I was talking about before.
I shall give these laws unto thy people. Hear me, oh, hear me, all take heed. The Lord Jehovah has given unto you these 15. Wait. Ten commandments.
I love that. It makes me laugh every time I see it. These 15, these 10 commandments. That's obviously not how it happened. We're not originally 15, and then he dropped one. But there actually was originally another set of 10 commandments that like got smashed because like the whole like worshiping a calf thing. Like Moses is gone just for a little bit, and then already the Hebrews were breaking the rules. Anyways, we are going to click on our Wednesday folder today. We have Chapter 6, Lesson 2, the Israelite Kingdom, Part 1 as our assignment, and we have a great 7 minutes to be able to get started on these 4 questions. Of course, you have the digital text right there if you'd like to use the digital text, or you can use your textbook pages 148 to 153. So that's all I have for you today. I'd get started on that assignment. So because really, probably by 10:35, you'll at least have half of that done, if not.
The recording is still on.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you. You're my favorite Kirthana.